The Holton Ahlers Show, first one remote. Obviously, I'm in the UFL, literally in my hotel room. Yes, the lighting isn't the best. Yes, the camera isn't the best. Hopefully, by next week, we have all that figured out. On the other line, Ariel Epstein is about to join us, the prop queen. Sports gambling coming legal March 11th in North Carolina. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always,
Too damn bad! Holton Ahlers turns, and Holton will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holton Ahlers to the 30. What can he do? 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates.
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime!
Episode 8. Man, time flies. I am in Dallas for the UFL, which we will get to in just a few minutes. But hey, big news. March 11th coming soon, and we had to get the best sports gambler that we knew, a friend of the show, a friend of mine for a while now, Ariel Epstein, NBA TV, MLB TV, and everything in between. Ariel, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. It's a little weird. I'm on the opposite end. Usually I ask you the questions, Holt.
I know. It's been crazy. It's crazy. Full circle moment for sure. But appreciate you joining. I was telling them earlier, I was like, as soon as we tweeted it out, like you were one of the first people to reach out and be like, I'd love to come on. So I appreciate you doing it. We saved you for this moment right before it becomes legal. So to talk about gambling and stuff. So first, the obvious question is advice for new sports gamblers. What advice do you have for these people that are about to be, it's a new world of sports gambling. A lot of people look at it and follow the lines, but now they can actually put money into it. So what's your advice to them?
Start smart. Make sure to listen to people that may be a little smarter than you, and don't place these ginormous bets. Try to start a little small. See where you're good at betting. Some sports you're going to be better at than others, and that's okay. It's okay to ask other people for advice. Don't think you're going to make money on these 10-leg crazy parlays. Sure, if you want to do it for fun for $10, okay. But that's not how you're going to make your money. You make your money making smart bets where you look to a side, a total, a prop, and that's where you can find some edges. Not trying to find 10 different games to put together in a parlay and make a big payout.
Well, I kind of feel attacked right now. I was looking forward to going after the big ones. But, I think that's great advice, and we should probably take that 100%. Cade and Jack, y'all got anything?
I agree, the 10-leg parlays. I think Saturdays in college football season, I always have a retirement parlay, and I've never hit. I have hit, I put $5 one time, and I cashed out for $2,000 on a 10-legger, and I thought it was awesome. And I was like, why not? You get addicted to it, and you're like, you can only do one a week retirement parlay. But Ariel, I'm kind of curious. How did you get started out in the whole sports betting, and what kind of attracted you to it, and you fall in love with it?
So I've always loved playing fantasy sports. We were behind here in New York, didn't get sports betting until the pandemic in 2020. However, in 2019, that was around when New Jersey started to get big with sports betting. I started, instead of fantasy sports, where you essentially need a 9-leg parlay to hit because you need all 9 players to do well in DFS, in your fantasy leagues. This way, I only had to bet one player. I could bet against the book and not bet in daily fantasy against 250 other people in a tournament. So I would drive my car to the New Jersey gas stations where I would sit there and place bets. It was also somewhat of a career move. After I left New Bern, Greenville area where I was the anchor at WCTI, I ended up unemployed. I didn't know what to really do with my career, but I knew I wanted to stay on air. Sports betting wasn't big yet. I said, okay, everyone's in fantasy. I'm going to learn a part of the market that can be that easy transition, which was props, because the props market is like fantasy. So it's the easiest thing for people to transition over to, and that's kind of where things started to blow up.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What sport would you say first you really dove into on the props?
Definitely baseball. It was actually what put me on the map and got me called prop queen. I did not create the prop queen thing for myself. I actually despised it until everyone made me keep it because people actually started to try to steal it. So I ended up trademarking it. But anyway, Prop Queen started because of strikeout props in baseball. Strikeout props were such a great little niche market that the sports books didn't really catch on to until probably about a year or two ago. But the first couple of years I did it, I was hitting strikeout props at like 65, 70%. And people were going crazy.
Wow.
I even had people from Las Vegas who have been betting for years who would DM me asking me what my strikeout prop of the day was. So it was really baseball that started it all.
I actually followed. That's where I found you, was on the baseball prop queen. I was following your strikeout props. And I didn't even realize, like, you got your start up in Greenville and, you had the connection to the area. I was just tracking it. And I saw you on High Heat and everything. And I was like, then I found out your connection. I was like, no freaking way. Like, how is that even a thing? So I thought
everything I'm telling you guys, I know that a lot of you are in this little like black hole of Greenville. Everything goes back there. I am in New York, and I have gone to New York, Florida, Texas, you name it. Everywhere I go, someone ties back to Greenville, North Carolina, or Eastern North Carolina. It's bizarre.
I love
That's
it.
awesome. Hey, G Vegas. So as a quarterback, honestly, like, you go through when you're like game planning and stuff, you go through and you watch the D line, then you watch the secondary, then you watch the linebackers, and you try to get tendencies and stuff. I want to know, like, that's my checklist as a quarterback. What is your checklist as a gambler, as a sports gambler?
I love that you phrased it that way, because there are so many players who are former players that I work with at MLB Network who always think that I'm crazy when I bet certain ways, because they see it from the athlete perspective. They don't see it from the sportsbook perspective. Every sport is different. So let's say with football. In the NFL, I'm going to look at the teams that are top 10 and bottom 10 offensively and defensively. I see where the good matchups are. The thing is with football that makes it more difficult than something like MLB is football, there's a game plan involved. Whereas NBA and MLB, they may have a game plan, but players are very much who they are. Football, it changes every week based on the playbook and how matchups are. So you have to think a little bit more to the playbook like a player, which could help a little bit. In baseball, I track a lot of what I call fishy line moves. So in the NBA and MLB, I look at how lines move overnight. I take a snapshot of the odds the night before. I see how the lines move overnight. I do have a way of seeing how much money and bets are coming in on each side. So if I see that, let's just say, for example, as we're recording this tonight, the 76ers are facing the Celtics, and the Sixers don't have their MVP, Joel Embiid. Yet the line moved a point in favor of the Sixers, who are on the road in Boston. So that, to me, would be a fishy line, because the public is going to say, oh, Boston's winning this game by 1 million. There's no way that the Sixers are in with the Celtics. Well, why is the line moving then in favor of the in favor of the Sixers? So the only reason that a sportsbook is going to move their line is because they're getting money from a respected bettor. Every bettor that logs into a sportsbook has an account number, and every sportsbook is tracking those account numbers. They will only move the line when an account number of a respected bettor puts a lot of money on a game, not when, like, Joe Schmo is putting money on it. They don't care about it.
So how do I get a respected bettor? Because I feel like I'm the Joe Schmo once March 11th comes.
Respected bettor, well, you have to put a lot of money on games that actually hit, and then they're going to start telling you that you can't bet anymore.
I'll never get to that.
It's happened to a few friends of mine that they can't bet certain things. So you really have to get to a point where a sportsbook's like, all right, this guy might know something.
Ariel,
That's
you
wild.
talk. Oh, sorry, Holton. You talk about experiences with MLB, and you're working with former players, and you're around so many cool people like that. What's the coolest experience you've had from your job and kind of what you're doing now?
So the coolest moment I've had recently was I had a really cool 24-hour period, which if you told 10-year-old Ariel, she would never think it happened. So my company, PointsBet, which is turning into Fanatics, PointsBet last year sent me to sit courtside for the Western Conference Finals between Denver and the Lakers. and I sat legitimately courtside, and all I had to do was post to social media about it. And I had to take an early morning flight out the next morning because on MLB Network, Pedro Martinez was co-hosting an hour-long show with me, our show Off Base. So it was the most wild, 24-hour period where I went from sitting courtside the night before in Denver for that Western Conference final game.
Yeah.
And then the next day flew and did an hour with Pedro Martinez, who came into the makeup room while I'm getting my makeup done at MLB. And he goes, Ariel, I love your work. I've been so excited to work with you. And
Wow.
I'm like, what? You're excited to work with me? I'm like, dude, I took the first flight out of Denver so that I could host a show with you because I grew up hating you, but I know that you're the nicest person ever. I'm a Yankees fan.
Yeah. How cool is that? Wow.
I'm curious, Ariel. You mentioned before you in baseball and football, betting is a lot different. In baseball, when you're betting your K props, who are some of the pitchers that you look for and some of your favorite pitchers to bet on?
So it's funny because what I actually look more for is the lineups. I don't look so much at each individual pitcher. Now, I look to a lot of the pitchers that are the 3-4 guys in the lineup because their strikeout prop is usually about 5.5, 4.5 to 6.5 range. But if you're going to go for Garrett Cole, his strikeout prop's 9.5 at least on any given day. It's all about the matchup. There's going to be days where you're going to love a pitcher, and that same pitcher, the next time he gets through the rotation, you're going to hate him. Because there are certain teams that, again, each year, because of lineup changes and whatnot, each year teams are either more or less strikeout prone. But for the teams that are, let's say, more strikeout prone, you're going to go bet overs on these strikeout props. But a team that's less strikeout prone, then obviously you'll bet your unders. And then there are the teams that you have to look lefty-righty splits. I'll never forget the Colorado Rockies 2 years ago. Lefties at Coors Field was one of my favorite strikeout props to always be fading because they were so bad. For whatever reason, it was lefties at Coors. But then last year, when I tried to bet it the whole first half of the year, I kept losing. So I was like, all right, this trend is over. But it was something really weird in 2022 that lefties at Coors Field, when they were the opposition, they always had a bad outing. So there are just certain trends once we get a month of numbers that I end up finding. Again, it's mostly, though, it's going to be based on the lineup. The Tampa Bay Rays, they tend to strike out more against lefties than righties. It's just based on their lefty-righty splits throughout their lineup. So you've got to look to more just, that's what people don't understand with sports betting. They think that you always are betting on the subject. People will think, okay, LeBron James has had 40 points in back-to-back games. He must have over 22.5 points tonight. Then you really have to think, okay, but why is his prop only 22.5 if he's just had back-to-back 40-point nights? Oh, he's playing a really good defense tonight. That probably makes sense after he played 2 bad ones. It's those kinds of things where you have to still look at the matchup and not just the player.
I fall victim to that sometimes.
I was about to
So
say,
do I.
she's really
Prize
preaching
picks
to
will
us
get
right
me.
now.
Well, that's
Come
where
on,
you
if you guys are athletes, you should know that if you're going to play a really good defense one week and a really bad defense the next week, it's a totally different game.
If he's
Very
hot,
true,
he's
very
hot. Shoot or
true.
shoot.
I will say we've had pretty good records we've been keeping our records, and we're all above 500 over the last month and a half. So we're not
That's
doing too
great.
bad right now. Drew, do you have anything for?
Yeah. So I'm kind of a big NBA bettor. A lot of my props are NBA, and I know you spoke about you found a niche with strikeouts. So is there a niche in the NBA, a specific statistic that you think you benefit a lot from, maybe steals, points, rebounds, assists, something like that?
I love the rebounds plus assists market, especially when Draymond Green, just like he is tonight, gets a bottom 10 rebounding team. Draymond Green is averaging about 14.5 rebounds plus assists in games where he's facing bottom 10 rebounding teams, and his prop was only 12.5 today. So that's a 2-point differential right there. So rebounds plus assists is a fun market. And then also there's a really good, it takes a lot of time. When you get things like tonight where DeJounte Murray is up against Utah, who is a bottom 10 defense, so they do allow a lot of assists to their opponents. You get no Trae Young now. We have a decent sample size of about 8 games. and Murray's averaging 9 assists per game, and his prop hasn't adjusted yet with an 8.5. So those are the moments, too, where as we get injuries through the NBA, find those edges. Find that player that steps up in those situations because a player is out. And there are usually 1 or 2 players that benefits.
Man, that's a lot of stats that go into this stuff, man. Holton,
I'm
you got
telling you,
something?
it takes – people don't realize this, and this is why there's not a lot of, people in the sports betting business, because it takes so much time. It takes me about 4 to 5 hours a day of research, and then I'm only on air for maybe an hour or 2 tops. I do way more research.
For sure. I feel like that's what makes you successful, though, is literally that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you put in, 4 or 5 days of work into a week going into game day, and then you play 1 game. So it pretty much feels like the same thing throughout each day.
Very true. You were talking about NBA. I got to ask, what are your thoughts on the New York Knicks? I'm a beloved Knicks fan. Everyone on the podcast knows this. I think this year's the year. I got Caden to put in a futures bet for me for Jalen Brunson MVP and finals to win the NBA Finals. So what are your thoughts? Oh, that's not a good
I thought it was a bad bet, too, but
Okay,
it was a shot in the dark, but I have faith.
From now on, you're just going to bet Knicks to make the playoffs because you'll at least get somewhat of a payout, but you won't be making some crazy assumption that the Knicks are going to get hot and win an NBA Finals. I didn't know this about you. I actually am really glad now I did the show because I know what your weak spot is. It's the New York Knicks, just like the
Not this year.
Yes, it is, because the Knicks have a head coach who just plays them all pretty much the entire game, and now you have no players left. You have Jalen Brunson, who can't even play tonight on the second leg of a back-to-back. Mitch Robinson is out again. Julius Randle is out. OG Anunoby, who you just got, out. I mean, the whole team is out. It was so exciting, and now they can't play because they play too much.
Oh, I love
Agreed. I mean, I agree 100% that he plays our starters 40 minutes a night. But you know what? They claim that they're not that tired, that they're used to it. OG Anunoby, when he got there, he was asked about it his second game he played that many. And he was like, I played that much with the Raptors. I'm like, dude, no, you didn't. Tom Thibodeau's playing you guys way too much. So
here's the thing. The good thing is that sports betting will be legalized in North Carolina just in time for them to bait you into betting the Knicks through the playoffs.
Oh, I have to. I told Caden, I was like, this is the first year in my life that they're decent, at least somewhat of a contender. And I was like, so just put a futures for them to win the finals, because I would never live it down if they ended up making a run to the finals and I did not have a bet on it.
That's a fair point. I wish you the best of luck. You and New York City will be so excited if something like that happens. I mean, so I'm a Knicks fan, I guess, but it's not my number one team in the world. But if I had to root for a team, it would be the Knicks. I was actually annoyed with Knicks fans when they played the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs, and the Knicks fans were celebrating in the streets outside of Penn Station, outside of MSG, because they won a playoff game. Most of these Knicks fans are Yankees fans, which means that they know what it's like to win. Act like you've been there before.
Well, if they're a Knicks fan, they have not been, unless they're 80 years old. So.
No, but you know what it's like to be part of a good team if you're a New York fan. If you're a Knicks
Very
fan,
true.
You're usually a Yankees fan and a Giants fan. So you won in the last 15, 20 years. You know what it's like to win. And yes, I know it's different for each team, but come on, it was one playoff game.
Hey, that's the heart of a Knicks fan. We got to celebrate as much as we can while we can, because who knows when it's coming next. Y'all got anything else before we let her off?
Yeah, I got one more. I know sports betting legalizes, less than 2 weeks, 2 weeks now. And a lot of people are going to try to find their niche, however you pronounce it. What is your advice on people trying to find, where their realm of sports betting is? How do you find that? What do you have to say about that? And one other thing, with baseball coming up, maybe a two-pronged question here. How do you approach the beginning of the year? Do you take a lot from the last season, or how do you approach it yourself?
Yeah, 2 really good questions. I would say the best way to figuring out which sport you bet the best, it's going to take time. So don't throw all your money out there. And like, luckily we're seasonal, right? So each season comes up and you'll see, okay, this sport felt a little more natural. This sport I did better. And every year may be different. However, everyone's going to want to bet the NFL. So just tread lightly there because it's the hardest sport to bet. When it comes to like March Madness, which you guys will have the opportunity to bet, you will see that, you'll find certain teams or conferences that you zone in on. In college sports, the best thing to do, at least in years past before all this conference realignment, was to find a conference or two that you really wanted to zone in on instead of trying to be a genius at every single conference in college sports, because that's just really tough to do. In the pros, I would say, again, tread lightly and see where you can find certain markets, because it may not be that betting money lines is your strength and finding underdogs is your strength, but maybe certain props could be your strength. So just try to search through the website, search through the apps, and see which bets you've had the most success betting. And you could keep track. There are a lot of different websites you can use to keep track of which bets you've been most successful at. And I just know from my tracking history that baseball has been my most successful sport to bet. And I've been betting here since it's been legalized in 2018-ish. So I have more of a sample size. So it'll take time, but get through all your seasons, and then you'll see which ones you're better at and which ones you enjoy doing the most. For baseball, I start the season off just like I do for any other sport. I use the numbers from last year to the best of my advantage. If there are teams that have been hit by a lot of different changes, like the Dodgers getting Shohei Ohtani, then yeah, that's a big difference, and I'll probably stay away from teams that picked up a really big star. Same thing goes for the Yankees with Juan Soto. He changes the lineup, so stay away from the bigger teams, but go to the teams that didn't have as much change and stick with the numbers for a couple of weeks. But the first few weeks of a season are always really difficult, and it's always really difficult around any trade deadline too and any All-Star break. So when you get the week before or week after a trade deadline or All-Star break, be very careful with betting too. So what I do is early in a season and in those times, I just either decrease unit size or I'm going to just bet less. So instead of betting maybe 5 bets a night, you bet 2 a night and just start and tread lightly.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to starting baseball season tailing some of your bets, so I appreciate it.
No, I'm
Ariel,
excited.
I'm heading out to Scottsdale on Thursday night, actually, to go see spring training, so I'll be able to give you some live updates for you.
Oh, please do.
We'll get some videos of
seeing?
bullpens, and we'll get some insider info for you.
Who are you going to see?
I'm a Giants fan. I'm from Northern California.
Ooh, I'm jealous. I actually had a friend of mine who told me he went to go watch Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers a few days ago, and he didn't get to watch Shohei Ohtani. I felt really bad. You dummy. You can't fly to spring training expecting to see, a player at spring training. You're
right.
lucky
And
if you see anyone.
If you do, it's going to be for about an inning, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. 1 or 2 innings. And
right.
I actually have never been to spring training, so I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's awesome. Definitely put
Yeah,
that
Ariel,
in.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining the show. I'm over here working on my light. I have my cell phone light now shining on me, so hopefully next week our lighting's better.
You've learned from Brian Bailey pretty well.
Yeah, I have a Greenville goat for sure. But hey, appreciate you joining. I'll keep you up to date on our betting, and then I might be texting you for some help here soon.
Oh, of course, anytime, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you. All right, Drew, is the lighting better, or hey, this is raw. This is UFL style right here. Drew, phone light away or phone light on?
Phone light on.
All right, let's go. Boys, that was a sick interview. We were definitely just about to be throwing money at random bets until we just heard all of that. So hopefully the listeners feel the same way about it.
Speak for yourself. I try to be responsible about it. Funny story I should have mentioned, though, when she was on. I found her, like I mentioned before, watching High Heat on MLB TV. And I think she would have appreciated this. I watched it religiously every day, High Heat. I think it came on at 5 right after work. I was on, maybe 5 or 6. And there was one day I was on a streak and I was streaking and I missed her props and we were crushing it. Well, I was crushing it off her picks. And I couldn't find it on YouTube or go back on MLB app and watch it. So I DM'd her on Twitter, and she responded and gave me the picks. So I was very
that's
appreciative.
awesome.
I know. I should have told her, but awesome interview. I'm a huge fan. I didn't even realize, like she said, sometimes you feel like you're in a black hole in Greenville.
Yeah.
But what an awesome interview.
That's fun. Good energy, good vibes.
Well, it's fun. Boys, that interview, first of all, was brought to you by Anson Belts, the official belt, we say it every week, of the Holton Ahlers Show, as well as ECU Athletics. Go to ansonbelt.com for over 10,000 combinations. Holeless, micro-adjustable belts, fits all seasons of life. Boys, it's getting spring. We're trying to all lose weight, get that summer bods right around the corner, but we were all a little pudgy in the winter, and you know what happens with that? The belt still fits you. Anson Belts, go to ansonbelt.com. Shout out to those guys for supporting us. UFL update. Let's just go ahead and get to that. I had my first practice today.
There we go.
It was pretty well. I'm starting out, though, as I got to say a little quiet because I'm in the hotel room. I am starting out as QB4, so there's a little nugget right
You're
there.
talking to the walk-ons here, pal.
Hey,
You just got a mountain to climb, man.
I spent
For sure.
4 years at QB4, so welcome to my world.
Yeah, so I'm going to be grinding up. I did throw a 40-yard touchdown bomb today to Zay Winstead, which was pretty cool. So he's been balling. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Obviously, like I said, the lighting and the cameras will be way different next episode. I'm grinding right now. I'm just like my second, third day of camp now. So it was we had to make do with whatever we could.
I'm curious, Holton, with the XFL, you said you're starting off at around QB4. I don't know if there's really depth charts yet or how that works, but like, what's the rotations like? I know there's 70 people on a team, 4 quarterbacks. You know, I think the practices I read were like 70 some minutes. Like how many reps do you get, and like how often do you rotate in?
Yeah, so they split it up 2 fields or 2 sides of the field. So like 35 going in, 35 going in. So there's 2 returners from last year and then 2 rookies, and they're honestly all super cool dudes. Like I've enjoyed them a lot. Each and one of them. Honestly, what's cool about this league, dude, is like everyone. I'll get to that question in a second, but before I forget, like everyone has like a almost comeback story now. It's actually pretty cool to like listen to it. It's almost like you're in JUCO ball, but of the pros. Like I'm not like crapping on it. It's just like everyone has a cool story like that.
Last
it's like,
Chance Pro.
Yeah, like they really could make a documentary on
Last
super
Chance
cool dude.
U,
Hearing people's stories, but I mean, we have Vic Beasley and Marquette King on our team who are, all pro and don't need to play football at all anymore. They just do it because they love it. And then we have guys who have been, I've been cut like 8 times myself, and I'm only barely a rookie. And then there's guys who have been, in the league for 10 years, but are trying to get back in. So just the stories in general are sick. Let's get back to your question. So, yeah, we split up the field 2 ways. So it's 2 quarterbacks on each side, and the 2 returners get 3 reps, 3/4 reps, and then the 2 rookies get 2 reps. So it's an uphill battle, but I can only control what I can control and show what I have. And I feel like I did today. So practice 1's done with, and we'll have an update next week.
You got to stack the days.
Most
When you're having those good days, Jack, Drew, you guys know about it. When you're walking on, you got to stack those days. So
yeah, I need to take
way
it
to
from
get
you
their
guys,
attention.
man. Yeah, I need to take it from you guys now, and I'm technically like the walk-on of this. I feel like. So, any advice? Let me know.
Well, I went to the baseball game last week on Sunday versus UNC, and I ran into Kenny Curlings, our good friend.
Oh, Kenny! Shout out to
And,
Kenny. He always deserves a shout out.
He said, "Holton's wearing 15." I said, "Yeah." He said, I got to wait a little bit before I get my jersey. So we've got some incoming jerseys coming into Greenville. So
let's go. Oh, that doesn't surprise me one bit. And dude, I figured out the other day. So if I end up working my way up and, making the team and possibly playing some and hopefully starting game 1, we play the USFL champion, the Birmingham Stallions, March 30th in the old Ranger Stadiums where we play. It's at 12 o'clock. The Cowboy Stadium and the new Ranger Stadium's right beside us. The Rangers, who won the championship last year, opening day, 6 o'clock the same day. The boys got to come down.
Trip.
who do they play
Yeah, if
that
I'm
day?
playing, y'all got to come. I have no clue. I just heard that nugget the other day, and I was like, that's pretty sick.
We could probably give our good friend Ariel a call, and she could probably give us some props for that game, huh?
Oh, 100%. But by that point, we're going to be – the sports gamblers are going to be kicking us
in.
out and not letting us
Yeah, we'll probably be banned by then.
sports books. Yeah.
I'm planning on, if you make it, fingers crossed, don't let me down here, but
Well, you're saying this on the pod, baby. We can
I know. I'm
clip this
letting you
very
know. So
easily.
if you've let us down, we won't hold it against you. But if you make the team, I want to go to that DC game in DC since it's a quick drive. I think we could all make it pretty easily.
I think a large amount of Greenville will be making that one.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. Dr. Murphy, a great friend of mine, congressman, friend of the show. He said he was going to get some congressmen to come down too, which would be pretty sick.
Yeah, you got not only us depending on you. You got the U.S. Congress. So.
It's not even local politics anymore, bud.
We're going national, baby. We're going national. We're going national with that, boys. So, yeah, that's the kind of the update with that. It's been fun, though, dude. I really have enjoyed it. Dude, we're even getting some sick gear. We're getting all the rock stuff. I don't know if y'all can see this right now. Let me move my mic. So, like, the rock stuff, like blood, sweat, and respect. Dude, we got a ton of gear. I can't.
Oh, yep, there you go. Just wanted everybody to see it.
Yes, sir. In the hotel, baby. Just like JUCO ball of the pros, like Caden said. But no, dude, it's really been professional so far. Like, I have no complaints. Like, we definitely have the best facilities because this is like our home base. But it's been cool, dude. Like, everyone's been super welcoming. The coaches have been cool. So hopefully I start getting more reps soon. But like I said, I'm going to control what I can control and just keep trying to show what I can do.
So you guys practice in Ranger Stadium, or is that just where the games are?
No, we practice in the old stadium and we play in the old stadium. So yeah, we practice there. Our locker room is the old Texas Rangers locker room. Like, it's pretty sick.
Yeah. That's a sick stadium. I remember playing MLB growing up. Yeah. I always wanted to play
that backdrop.
That backdrop's amazing.
Holton, you mentioned sweet gear, and I couldn't let this opportunity pass me. One of our good friends of the show, Manna Mesquite, we couldn't do it without them. We actually tweeted out this week a giveaway for our listeners on here. You got to like, follow, retweet, and comment a question for the boys that we'll get in there in the upcoming next couple episodes. But we're doing a giveaway, a lot of sweet gear, just like you'd mentioned, but it's Manna Mesquite. So make sure you guys go check that out on Twitter and give a little shout out to the friends over there.
Shout out to Manna Mesquite Goose Club. They got some sick gear, like he said. Jack, let's change it to either like or tweet, like any of them, and they're entered into it. Just so we don't got to do too much. We got a lot of gear. They're hooking us up, man. They've been a friend of mine for a while now. Pat Sumner and his dad are founders of it. They were actually my NIL agents back in college. So crazy how full circle goes there. And they helped us get Worth and Wayne Hardy Law to sponsor the pod too. So shout out to those guys. A great family, great brand. Obviously, I mean, look at any of their apparel or anything like that. Shout out to those guys, boys. I'm a little jealous. First of all, I'm jealous because the studio still isn't fully. We're getting there. We're getting there in the studio, but I am jealous because you guys are going to pretty much. I'm pretty confident that ECU baseball is going to make it to Omaha this year. But I am jealous. First of all, hopefully I could be back if they play Super Regionals there, and I'm very jealous that y'all got to go to the Carolina game, or at least at Jack, I know you did. So how was that, dude? They're freaking balling right now.
Yeah, the atmosphere was absolutely electric. It was something that I will for sure remember. I am a huge ECU baseball fan. I think the boys do a great job. Today, they just lost to Old Dominion on a walk-off home run. Last week, a midweek loss. So those things are kind of haunting them right now a little bit. But, I mean, it's early in the year. And like we saw last week, they showed up in big games when it mattered. So I think those two games versus UNC were very encouraging. I think early in the year, every team and every sport's going to have some kinks they got to figure out. So I'm looking forward to seeing the boys bounce back in the Leclair Classic this weekend. But, I mean, special shout out to Carter Cunningham. These past couple games, he's been on fire. It's just like versus UNC, it was a homer. Today, he got a triple. So the guy's been on fire. He's a friend of ours. So big shout out to him and shout out to the boys.
For sure. And we have Southeastern's left fielder about to join us here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. ECU basketball, they're going to win the conference championship. I still have them on in the tournament. I still have the futures. So I believe, Kate, I know you're over there puffing and huffing over there, but I believe.
I bet ECU basketball. They were like 7-0 versus teams that had in their half of the conference, that lower half of the conference, they played Rice. So you take the statistics and you look at that. So I took it, and what did they do?
Laid an egg
against Rice. So embarrassing loss for me personally, as a Pirate fan, that did suck because we thought that, like I mentioned, a lot of these games in this conference is 50-50, like I always mention. So as a personal, for my finances, that one sucked for a little blow. And then, Pirates just bad loss, but hopefully we'll bounce back. Pretty exciting game this week against Memphis. So Penny Hardaway and his guys. I know they're having a pretty good year. It's not the year like they wanted, but it's a tough conference. So Memphis is a good team. They're not in the top like everyone expected this year, but should be still a fun matchup to come in.
They started off pretty hot, honestly. Like they started off really well. But we'll just keep you guys updated on that and our thoughts on all of that, obviously. With spring football kind of starting soon, we'll keep you updated on anything we're hearing there and any reviews that you guys want to hear. Just tweet at us at Holt Ahlers Show. Boys, best bets. We heard Ariel. Hopefully we listened to her in some of these best bets. But before we get to that, my best bets this week are going to be brought to you by Wayne Hardy Law. If you're in a car accident or anything in between, they will help you out and help you and your family out. Treat you like family. That's the Wayne Hardy difference. But call 1-800-INJURED for Wayne Hardy Law. Shout out to you guys, and we appreciate you. Wayne Hardy Law, we appreciate y'all. And now, Cade, start off with your bets, and then we'll go from there.
So this week, last week, technically I went 2-1, but you guys said I could only have 2 games, not 3 games. So we dropped the South Florida game, and I took that loss. So that was sad, but I'm going back to basketball, college basketball. That's where I'm staying at. Like Ariel said, stay with what you know. And I feel like I have a couple conferences this year that I know. I feel like I know the American, even though I lost the last American game, the Big 12, the Mountain West. But I'm actually going to flip it. I haven't bet A10 basketball this year, but I kind of like this matchup Friday night. Number 21, Dayton's going to Loyola Chicago, the Fighting Sister Jeans. She's 104 years old. Do you guys know that?
They actually beat the Wolfpack when I was there.
I know.
I have beef with Sister Jean.
I was curious if she was still alive, and I saw she was 104. So congrats to her.
That's impressive.
But both these teams are having a super fantastic season. Loyola's tied for first in the A10. Dayton's in third with a 21-5 record. Third place with a 21-5 record, and they're ranked. The only team ranked in the
competitive conference.
I know. But both these teams are fairly balanced on the stat sheet. They both are bottom half of possession teams, so a lot of half-court basketball. It's going to be a lot of slow pace. But, you're not going to see a lot of points. And what I like about this game and what I like Loyola Chicago for is Dayton is 5-4 on the road. They only have 5 losses, but are 5-4 on the road. And Loyola Chicago is 13-2 at home this year. So, like I always say, college basketball, conference style, you're never going to win. It's hard. You're not never, but it's hard to win on the road.
Right.
Dayton as well, top 25 scoring efficiency. But Loyola Chicago, top 25 defensive efficiency.
Ariel would like that.
Yeah, top 25 defensive efficiency. So you mash it together. Dayton's on the road, home at Loyola Chicago. Defenses win championships, regular season championships, and you don't win on the road in conference college basketball. Give me the Fighting Sister Jeans with the spread. I think they'll be the underdog, too. I don't know.
That's plus money, baby.
Calling this on a Wednesday night, I don't know where it's going to fall.
Right.
But I like it. I think it might be plus points, but I really feel confident about this. Second pick, I'm going to keep it super short for you guys. I called it last week. It wasn't an official play. South Florida, they're the legit American team this year. They're my second favorite team in the American. I know everyone's going to boo me about this. I like their basketball team. They're fun to watch. Like I said before, that Kaysen Pryor, he's a funny dude to watch. But they're playing against our local community college in Charlotte on the road. I know, don't bet road basketball teams. Yeah. But this local community college, I think they've peaked this year. They're on the downtrend. And South Florida has been going nuts. I think they're going to continue to go nuts, at least until the conference. Give me South Florida on the road.
I like that. That was good.
I feel like every time you've gone against don't bet against the road team or bet against the road team, it always kind of bites you.
No, not true. Houston this past week, they're on the road. I won that one against Baylor, so that was a good one. I lost the ECU one, but if we would have counted South Florida, they were at home. Right, I would have won. So 2-1 is not bad.
For sure.
Well, I'll tell you, Caden, I don't know, man. I bet against USF. I think 2 weeks ago. I went 1-1 the last 2 weeks, and I bet against USF and lost. So it's funny that we have this literally the same bet because I'm doing the same game, except I'm taking my favorite community college in North Carolina, UNC Charlotte. I was at the UNC Charlotte versus ECU game, and I was very, very impressed. I remember texting you guys. I was pretty upset. I talked about it on the show. That environment's going to be absurd, and it's a big time game. They have a couple dudes, Charlotte does, that can score the basketball. They have legit big men. They have a four guard that is a 6'8", 6'9" kid that can play in the paint and go and shoot the three. So I'm going to take Charlotte money line versus South Florida. It might be plus money. Who knows? I don't know how it is, but South Florida is hot. Shout out to their coach, first-year coach. But I'm taking Charlotte money line, like I said. And then my next one, let me look at my whiteboard. Friday, Celtics, Mavs at Celtics. Look, the Celtics are like 45-12. They barely lose at home. They just bodied my Knicks in Madison Square Garden. Yes, my Knicks are beat up, but Jason Tatum, all the guys on that team, Porzingis came over from the Knicks. Like, this team is as complete as a team as they are as any team in the NBA. They're really the team that scares me with the Knicks in the playoffs, especially in the East. If the Knicks get the 4 seed, they're going to have to play in Boston. I guess I can't even think of the name of their place right now. But so hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm going to take Boston spread versus Mavs on Friday.
It's funny that you always pick college basketball against me. But
I'm looking forward to being in the group chat and kind of hearing the back and forth between you two whenever that game's being played.
I think this week they're going to be my USF Bulls. They're battle tested, and one game I want to point to, they're in a tough environment. Blah blah blah. I don't want to hear it. They beat number 10 Memphis on the road. So I think
you were just talking about how bad Memphis was, though. So that doesn't even make sense.
I said they're not as good
time
as
will tell, guys.
Oh my!
See, tripping. They beat number 10 Memphis after 5 minutes ago. Memphis isn't that good this year, guys.
I don't think Memphis is ranked anymore, actually. But
no, they're not. They did start off really hot, but that win doesn't mean much anymore. So we'll see. We'll see.
You got
Jack, you're up.
I'll go ahead and go. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx myself, but in the last 4 weeks, I've been 7-1. So you can say that I've had your back. And that is why my picks this week are sponsored by Worth Chiropractic. You call 1-800-BACK-DOC. They'll get you right. Whether, it's a sporting event or just you wake up and your mattress did you wrong a little bit last night. They will get you right. And not to mention, I mentioned on a previous show, I drive by there almost every day when I'm going to rehab. The building, it just looks like an establishment that you want to go to. It looks like a great building. And I know on the people inside, they'll take better care of you than the building looks. So 1-800-BACK-DOC. Check them out. Now, on to my picks. You mentioned this with yours, Caden. You said, Ariel, shout out, I'm going to do what I know about, right? I'm going to do what steered me in the right direction. That's why both my picks this week, I'm going NHL. They've steered me in the right direction ever since I started taking them.
Before you say it, please tell me you're not continuing the Canes.
He's taking Canes money line, 100%.
I'm only doing one for them.
Okay.
So my first one is Carolina Hurricanes money line versus the Winnipeg Jets, who are a very good hockey club. It should be plus money. The line's not out yet. That's on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. in Raleigh at PNC Arena. So that's plus money. That's going to be a good one right there. My second one is Colorado Avalanche money line at Nashville versus the Predators on Saturday at 6 p.m. in Nashville. Those are two more evenly matched teams. And similar to kind of what you're saying about college basketball, hockey environments are pretty dangerous. So the home team usually kind of gets the nod there if it's an even team. So I'm going Hurricanes money line and Colorado Avalanche money line, both on Saturday.
Are you undefeated in NHL right now?
Yes.
Wow.
That's impressive.
I picked the upset at the Canes at the Vegas Golden Knights. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Is this your first bet that's not a Canes bet, though?
Yes, I believe so.
And I like the Canes bet because I've never even heard of the Winnipeg Jets.
They're good, though.
I guess. Are they?
Yeah,
we'll
they're
see.
pretty good this year.
Drew, who do you got?
All right. I had a bad week 2 weeks ago. Came back, went 2-0, just like how I normally do. So I'm planning to redo that again. So both my picks are for Saturday, and it's a little risky because I'm doing two unders on juggernauts of players. So I'm going Giannis under on 49 points, rebounds, assists. And the reason I'm doing that is because he's coming off a back-to-back game. So obviously we know how back-to-backs can be as just athletes in general. And power forwards after back-to-backs have never gone over 47 PRA. That might be incorrect, but it is a crazy stat. And I talked to Jack about it yesterday. Sabonis was on a streak, and he had a back-to-back and did not even get over 40 points, rebounds, assists. So I think Giannis under on 49 because his line is already astronomical as it is. So I think that's going to be hard for him to get. And then my next one is Curry under on 10 points, rebounds, assists. Well, 10 rebounds, assists, not points, rebounds, assists. Yeah, but so Chris Paul's coming back into the lineup. So I think that's going to take a lot of Curry's ball handling out. I think he's going to be playing a lot of off ball. And when you play a lot of off ball, that takes away your assists. So I think Chris Paul is probably going to be playing point when he's on the court. So that moves Curry to the 2. So I think his assists will drop. He's been pretty crazy with assists, higher than he typically is. So I think 10's a little high, and he's never been much of a rebounder to begin with. So I'm going to do what Ariel said and go with the rebounds assist mark and go under on Curry.
It's a shame that Drew went that whole interview and didn't tell Ariel his nickname. She's the prop queen. We have the prop king in here. So
Dang.
I didn't even want to try to
collab one day. You didn't want to rizz her up.
Nah, I just don't even
want to rizz her up.
Just
I know
call it how it is, guys.
I'm nowhere close to as good as she is. So I didn't even want to put myself in the same category of what she is as a.
Kate didn't like that one.
Hey, one day, Drew.
it'd be a shame if he did.
We boys, it's been fun. Look, I mean, Drew's just
Jungle
killing on the
fever
producing
time,
side. It is Jungle Fever time. So we're going to cut to that. Gray Roulette from South Eastern Louisiana is on the other line. Jack, introduce it. Kind of tell us what we're about and who we're talking with.
Yeah, welcome to Jungle Fever. Every week we have the left fielder coming on from an opposing team. Just kind of ask them how their team's been doing, how their season's gone, how they've done personally, and what their expectations are coming up for their game in Greenville. So today we have Southeastern Louisiana's left fielder, number 31, Gray Roulette. He's 6'5", 210 pounds, junior from Keller, Texas. He plays infield and outfield. Just transferred in this past season from Northwestern State, also in Louisiana. You guys got a 4-3 record this year. Gray, how you doing? How the boys doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Today we got a little off day, so all the boys were just chilling by the pool and just getting some sun, hanging out.
Love it.
But what's really stunk about this year is the majority of our games we've had the wind blown in, and it's kind of, I mean, y'all know how it goes with baseball. The wind blowing in, once you get that ball in the air, it don't go nowhere. So that's kind of been hurting us a little bit. But everything besides that, I mean, I think we got a special team this year. You know, all the boys, I mean, they, since coming in here from Northwestern, I mean, this team, I've loved this team. And I think it's going to be a heck of a year for us. But, you know, we just got to, it's baby steps we got to take.
Hanging out by the pool today. What's the temperature down there?
Dude, right now it's pretty warm. I want to say it's upper 80s right now.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm in Texas right now, and it's like 85, so I feel you, dude.
No, it feels really good. I mean, it was nice because last week we were all bundled up with sleeves and everything, and now there's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
Gray, have you heard about the jungle at all? And if so, what have you heard? Have you done any research? And tell us what you know about the jungle.
I mean, dude, really, I really don't know much. I remember in the summer when I entered the transfer portal, I was kind of looking at y'all's page and just looking at different colleges. And, I mean, I really don't know much about y'all's field. The only thing that I've heard with y'all's field that the stands and everything is right on top of the players.
right.
That's what I've heard about y'all. And, I mean, honestly, that's about it.
Yeah, so the jungle, it's primarily left field, but basically all around the outfield, it's like a little grass hill. And specifically, we've got a group out there called the Left Field Megaphones. Most of the time, they're cheering for our team. Occasionally, they like to have fun with the opposing team's outfielders. Definitely more of a respectful group, obviously. But yeah, the environment in Greenville is pretty crazy for baseball. The fans, the students, they all love it. Unfortunately, you will be coming over spring break. So I know a lot of the loyal fans in Greenville will be here. I don't know about the students and what kind of outcome you'll get from there. But this past Sunday, it was Sunday, we had a series with Chapel Hill. It was like a home and away series, and we broke our attendance record that Sunday, and it was just a crazy environment. So I think you'll definitely have a lot of fun visiting Greenville and playing in this tournament.
No, I'm excited for it, and I saw on can't remember if it was ESPN or some social media account, but I saw a video of the outfield and the left field with how close y'all were, and it got me excited. I'm really excited for it.
Speaking of environments, what's kind of the best environment you've played in so far in your college career?
So far South Eastern, the school I just transferred to and playing with now. Obviously, they were last year. They were pretty hard on me. I mean, they said some stuff where I kind of thought twice about it and gave them a double look. But this is one of the prime schools in what's that school? The Raging Cajuns. They were pretty tough as well.
Louisiana.
Yeah, kind of.
LSU got a little wild, but it wasn't nothing too crazy. There was just a crazy load of people there.
What's your goals going into this weekend? Obviously, ECU is one of the top ranked teams in the country. They got a really good team. You guys, like you said, have kind of had an up and down season so far. What are your goals going into the season?
Dude, honestly, right now it's just having fun because I've got this year and next year, so I'm just trying to make the most out of it. And every little experience I get, just try to soak in all the moments and not get down on anything and just have fun. That's pretty much everything I'm thinking of right now.
Love it.
For sure, dude. Hey, boys, Drew cut to me. This is Garrett McGinn just got me some deodorant from Target. So sorry, I keep going, Jack. I want to show the ECU fans.
Well, basically, we usually ask on Twitter, just kind of like with the upcoming interview, if anyone has any questions or anything. And kind of a popular thing is just the right fielders. They call it rowdy and right over there. They want to let you know that, a lot of the time it's just respectful, genuine kind of smack talking and just kind of fun interactions. Occasionally you'll get that 5% of drunk students out there saying some things. So they want to let you know, obviously, it's from a good place when they're talking to you. The second question, though, is a little kind of rowdy. You can choose to answer this if you'd like. But when you go to a place like ECU to play ball, where they're known for partying and having great women, are you and your close friends on the team swiping on Tinder? Or are you guys locked in? Like, what's the vibes like in the hotel, especially when you're coming for a spring break weekend tournament?
I think for all the boys' sake, I think we can all answer that one on our own.
Respect that.
Yeah.
Caden was telling me.
I'm not going to give out names, but it's a handful.
Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world out there.
Yeah, just joking around, just seeing what's out there.
I was that way when we traveled before I met my girlfriend. I was that way. I was always swiping to see what was the prospects like in the opposing territory. So
don't you have a stat for his school?
Yeah, I noticed your school. I probably been swiping if we would ever played you guys. I saw 64% women that go to South Eastern Louisiana. I thought it was a crazy statistic. You're almost out there. 7-1? Yeah. Were
you like a early transfer? So did you have the fall semester out there?
So I transferred right after my sophomore season. So the sophomore summer, at the beginning of it, when I entered the transfer portal. And then, because our head coach, Bobby Barbier, he became the head coach as well at Southeastern. So
you followed him?
Yeah. So me and two other players followed him as well.
Okay, I was gonna ask why you went to a school that was kind of rough on you on your initial visit. The passion, I guess, would be a reason to go. But
isn't it also a rivalry? I don't even know if I said that right. Rivalry?
Not really.
Okay.
If it is, I really haven't heard anything, but I know that Northwestern and SFA, that's a big old rivalry. But
gotcha.
I don't think anything between Southeastern and Northwestern.
Gray, I've got one more question, and then we'll see if any of the other guys have any. But on a tournament like this, where you're coming in, you got Purdue, you got Cal State Fullerton, you got East Carolina. Obviously, you've got great competition. what are things like you're looking to take away? Is it not so much the record that you walk out here with versus the experience that could help you out later down the road when you're competing for a conference championship? Or obviously, I mean, I think every competitor is going out there to win. But what are things like you're looking to come out of this weekend with?
Honestly, just having fun and, like I said, and getting prepped for conference. I mean, it's going to be a tough weekend, and we all know that. But I mean, we're gonna make the most out of it. We're gonna have fun. We're not going to get down, like I said, on anything that happens. We're just going to have the high confidence like we have as a team and have fun with it. You know, we don't really look. We don't care too much about the record or anything like that.
Right.
So we never look at stats or anything, but it's just looking to have fun. And honestly, I'm really excited to be in that type of environment. I've always thought it's been a fun time going to like a different school and then hearing what their student section have to say. I've always thought it's been a fun experience because I know a lot of people don't get to have it.
Right. That's part of the reason you play.
Exactly. And we played a school our midweek that we played. Their student section was all right, but it wasn't even good chirps. It was just they were just pretty much cussing at us, and it was just
hate to see it.
Yeah, I was like, it would have been something if y'all had good chirps, but y'all are mainly just sitting here cussing at us, so
right.
It wasn't much.
What's the best chirps that student sections or fan bases came at you so far with?
I mean, dude, nothing too much. Last year, I did get called.
I'll say it now. Hey.
You can say it, man.
Actually, I can't remember what it was. It was something out of pocket, and it was just something so random. I wish I could tell you, but I can't even think of what it was. It was just something so out of pocket. It made me rethink what I was doing in the moment.
Gray, you're a 6'5", 210-pounder from Texas. You got any good nicknames? I mean, just looking at that, like we could use you on the football team over here. Get you at outside linebacker or something.
Growing up, I grew up in North Texas, right outside of pretty much Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yep.
And I mean, I know you are going to give me shit for this, and I'm excited to hear it whenever I go out there. But my name around here, in all 3 years that I've been in college, has been Big Corn. Has always been my nickname.
Big Corn.
Big Corn.
Big Corn.
Yeah, dude.
You should have kept that one to yourself.
Yeah, it's a fitting nickname that everyone's just called me, and it fits so well, and I enjoy it, so it's just always stuck.
Hey, well, we're gonna roll with it now. Dude, so I'm in Dallas right now, playing for the Arlington Renegades. Do you have any spots that I should just try out in my off time?
Shoot, so you're in Arlington. Do you know where? Have y'all ever heard of the Stockyards before?
I got here like 4 days ago, so I have not.
Shoot, so
my friend goes to TCU. He's had some good times there.
Oh yeah, no, Fort Worth's a fun time because growing up in Keller, I was only 20-30 minutes away from there, so I wasn't too far. But I really don't know any spots around the Arlington area, just because I didn't go much there.
For sure. Hey, dude, appreciate you for joining. Good luck this week, boys. Y'all got any other questions?
No, I'll reach out to you. I'll send you a text, and we'll get you some gear and stuff too. With one of our sponsors.
All right, perfect, dude. It sounds awesome.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Good luck. See you, brother.
Big Corn, guys. What an interview. I'm really enjoying that segment right there. I was going to say loving it. I am loving it. So, Jungle fans out there, make sure you take care of our guy during that tournament. Maybe slip him a couple hot dogs between games or something. Show him that Southern hospitality that we got in North Carolina, barbecue sandwiches and all. Boys, what'd you think?
He's a big dude, so he's gonna need a few sandwiches. 6'5", 215, like that's pretty
Big Corn,
big linebacker
Big Tex.
size.
Yeah. You call him Big Tex.
Big Tex, what we need to call him. But I looked at his Instagram. I don't know if you checked it out. I think you did, Jack. He's a hunter.
Yeah, we were talking.
So
about
like, if we get him a nice barbecue sandwich or just a nice hot dog or something, and he gets a nice kill because he goes after some big animals. He might send us something and take care of us. So, Jungle, make sure you take care of that guy. He's a big dude. He needs a lot of food, but he might return the favor eventually.
Great guy. Nice guy.
Yeah, boys. Well, it's been fun. We're going on the road, man. I feel like I'm on the road. I miss you guys. I miss being in the studio with you guys. I'm going to get emotional over here.
Yeah, dude. I feel like you've been gone for a while.
Make sure you give our ops guy some love over here, Holt.
Yes, shout out. I'm glad you did that. Shout out to Sam, the intern / roommate. We were like, Sam, we're gonna call you an intern.
Utility guy.
He was my roommate. He's utility guy. He's a glue guy. He keeps the show together. So shout out to Sam. The studio and before this, when we were doing it in my house, dude did everything. So shout out to Sam. He's a huge part of our show. And thank you, Sam.
Tech support.
Thanks for saying
Sam.
that, Jack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah. Well, boys, that was fun. Next week, hopefully my setup is a little bit better, but we're going to continue to work on it. We're going to be authentic. This is a people's show, and I'm not going to hide whatever we were doing. I know I showed Garrett on a few minutes ago or prior to the show during Big Tech's interview or Big Corn's interview, but Noah Henderson's my roommate. He is currently not in the room, or I would show him, but we'll get him on next week.
Is that Baby Shaq? Is that what we call Noah Henderson?
Yes, sir.
Baby Shaq. Yes,
all
sir.
all the nicknames today. I got
Big Corn, Baby Shaq,
Prop King,
Rizman
Prop
Drew.
Prop King.
We got a lot of things.
Boys,
Hopefully
it's been
next
fun.
week we'll have an update for the room. It's kind of bland right now,
Some
but
deck right here.
we'll see.
We get some jerseys up, some
Decor.
TVs. Yeah, we're fighting the good fight, boys. But hey, we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Episode 8, it's flying by. We'll see you next time.
All right, we're good.